Dr. Weaver, good evening. This is my second video about Coach Taylor and the 7 lawsuits that she was dealing with. So the first lawsuit that she dealt with was the incident about the weights at the university gym. So the gentleman, John, tripped over his own weights. Excuse me. I don't think that would be the fault of Coach Taylor. I think that would be on him. Excuse me. The second time John tripped, and he waited 2 years to file a lawsuit, is because he tripped over a weight that Coach Taylor missed. So that would be negligence on her part. The third time, he seen a sign that she placed outside that said, "Be careful, there are weights that go back and forth." He went in and he still tripped over a weight. I think that's going to be held on John and not negligence of Coach Taylor, especially being that signs were up and he's seen that sign. The second incident that we have is a student tried to sue Coach Taylor because they said that she committed battery when he was hit with a baseball bat. He would have to prove that this was intentional. It was clearly an accident as she was getting the bats down from the shelf and he was hit in the process of that. That's not intentional, and I think that Coach Taylor would be okay and not held liable in that regard. Excuse me. The third incident, or not the third, but the next incident is Coach Taylor is being sued by students for false imprisonment. She told the basketball team that they can't leave the gym. She locked the front door and the students had to stay there, not realizing that there were other doors that were unlocked, but the students didn't know that, they weren't aware of that. So in that regard, I think that she would be held accountable or held liable for false imprisonment of those students. We have the incident about Coach Taylor trespassing on university property, trespassing on land. She's seen a sign that said no trespassing. She just stood there. Next thing you know, somebody shoved her inside. I'm not necessarily sure why that person shoved her, because that's a form of battery. But she did see the sign that stated no trespassing. So I'm not necessarily sure if she would be held liable in that regard, because she just stood there, but she wasn't doing anything on the property. However, she was on the property. So I don't know how that would go. I'm a little confused about that one. And lastly, we have Coach Taylor was suspended because she bowed her head and she prayed before the starting of the game. I think that violates her First Amendment for freedom of religion and to be able to practice her religion. And I think that she shouldn't have been suspended for that, and she shouldn't be liable for that. Those are my takes for the 7 lawsuits against Coach Taylor. I apologize for not putting this in the first video altogether. That's why I made this second video, so I'll have both links uploaded on the document when I turn it in. Thank you so much.